his name is Al Pacino. So did you all enjoy that black and white episode that we defo did on purpose?
Yep.
For the 6th episode special, 6 weeks.
Yep. You're welcome.
Yeah. We did that with you in your best interests at heart.
Yep.
Completely on purpose and intentional. To the colour grader, me, did a really good job.
Yeah.
So thanks for that, Vinny.
Well, we don't know if it was my fault.
Well, I mean, it feels like you touched the cameras. I touched the soundboard.
Yeah. Was the sound in black and white?
Yeah, very nice. I've got pins and needles in my leg. Bloody hell. But welcome back. So let us know if you want us to keep it in black and white.
Yep.
Again, completely intentional.
Mm-hmm.
We did it for dramatic effect because for some reason I was a bit. What was up with me last week? A bit cranky. Just woke up from a nap.
Yeah.
Like
and now a whole week has passed. You can feel a lot better.
A whole last week, as you can tell, my energy is off the charts.
Wow.
I know.
The things a week can do now, like, you know.
A week of rest, recuperation.
Yep.
And
that's what that week was.
Research.
Yeah.
The 3 R's. Arr. No. I didn't do that.
You did, and it's staying in.
Yeah.
Well, I think it should anyway.
Yeah, fuck it. When I get round to editing the podcast, I always leave it to the last minute.
Oh.
So it's like all the things I tell myself I'm going to cut out, I just leave in. So
that includes this.
Yeah. This little number that we've done. So yeah, I've never really committed to something for this long.
Wow.
I know.
Because you have commitment issues.
Christ, we're only 2 minutes in. I do want to design a set.
Yeah.
Yeah. What would you?
It?
I think so. You for the visual listeners, you weirdos. There is a white wall on the other side of the room. This
right behind you.
Yeah, this is the Blue Monkey podcast. Shout out to Bev who lets me use the broom, because he's a cool guy. Recently bald, and he wore a flat cap today.
He did,
which was interesting. So, well, yeah. So this is the Blue Monkey studio, and the only thing
there's a blue monkey in it. Well, it looks more like a lemur.
I don't think it's in my frame, is it?
It's out of shot.
Well, it's like half in shot, half out of shot.
If you can see a blue monkey,
there's a blue monkey. Maybe that's why. But the only contribution that we have given to this set, the only effort that we put in when we're recording our episodes, is this little thing here. Which is great.
Yeah.
But I do think that if we build a set on that side of the wall, that would be...
It'd be all ours.
It would be all ours. It'd be fun and cutesy. What would you do to your side?
We'd have 2 different sides, would we?
Yeah. Like you could have a board with all your favourite films and music and shit, and I'll have a board with all my favourite films and music and shit, and we'd have some cute lights.
Have little props and stuff.
Yeah, well, I've just
like
bought...
a proper podcast.
Yeah, like a proper podcast. I'll bring my Funko Pops.
That's what you need.
Because I got some of them.
You've got a film podcast, you need a Funko Pop.
Speaking of hyperfixations, I had a bit of a hyperfixation on Funko Pops, and I spent a lot of money, and now I haven't bought one in months.
Oh.
I do have one that's worth a little bit of money now, though.
Which one?
The Last of Us Ellie.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's like, well, I say a little bit, but it's like £100. I know some of them go for like thousands, but I don't have the box or anything, so I mean, I'd never sell it anyway. Never sell that. It's sick. It's really cool.
Yeah.
She's like holding a knife as well, which is really cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, I ordered today for the shoot. I ordered last week for the shoot a little open sign to stick outside because we're like faking a shop front. Yeah. So I bought an open LED open neon sign. Yeah. I might bring that in here. Spruce it up. We'll get in touch with Martha, our go-to production designer, because she has kittens every time. She refuses to watch the podcast anyway, but she double
because she hates us.
Yeah. She double refuses because she doesn't like this. She doesn't like the grey.
That puts her off, it does it?
Yeah, apparently so.
Wow.
It was fuck all to do with us.
Yeah, it wasn't my choice.
Matthew, you just made Bev cry.
It's nice to touch, though.
He's crying in his flat cap. Yeah, it's like pillows, isn't it? But yeah, I think that we should think about that and definitely make that a project that we do.
That would be
soon,
nice.
At some point.
I'll get some
We'll speak to
trinkets together to
trinkets. I like that word.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah. Trinkets. I've got some posters that aren't up that I could put up.
Well,
maybe.
we could get, do you know those cork boards?
Yeah.
And then we can just because it's like I like movie posters, but I prefer like stills.
Yeah.
And I prefer even more like paintings of stills.
Okay.
Like if I actually if we knew someone who could draw or paint, I would commission there's that Miracle Mile, we talked about it in one of the early episodes. Is one of my favourite films.
Yeah.
Trying to recreate the outfit for an album photo shoot, which makes me feel sick. But he wears like a red suit, doesn't he?
Yeah.
I think that'll be quite cool. But there's this one shot where he stood on the cars and chaos is kicking off behind him.
I know the one.
And I would love someone to paint that for me, and I'd put that up there.
Well, if you're a painter,
if you're a painter, let us know in the comment section. No, I need to stop doing that.
It could be really effective.
Not really, because I felt myself doing it in the last episode. I must have done it about 4 or 5 times. Hopefully, editor Abby has cut that out, but who knows? Because I know.
You know,
because I've already done it. Yeah. It's been a whole week.
It's been one whole week.
Yeah.
Happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday. Well, yeah, that's
Thursday, the 20th of August.
The 20th of August?
No.
Shit, I'm supposed to be in Corfu.
Oh. Why did I say August?
I don't know. Maybe because we were talking about August before.
Maybe.
Yeah,
I think it is. It's the 20th of June today.
It is.
Is that
no, it's
Thursday?
not the 20th.
No, it's the 19th.
It's the 19th of June. I forgot what you were doing. I forgot what you were doing for a second then.
Yeah.
But the podcast goes out on a Tuesday anyway, so it doesn't matter what day it is for these people. They don't care.
These people don't matter.
Do you know what I am learning? Do you know what I have found out? Who's an avid listener?
Who?
Steve.
Is he?
Yeah.
Hello,
Loves
Steve.
it. Shout out Steve. Best scripty in the world.
Script Sue.
Love you in your car. You're really funny. Lots of hugs. Yeah.
If you need a script supervisor.
Yep, Steve Doran. Get on
man.
him. He's never around when you need him, but he gets the job done.
And he's got a lot of heart.
He has got a lot of heart. He cares.
And that's what matters.
And he's tall.
He's
and dashing. And in touch with his feminine side.
That's important.
It is important.
Yeah. Am I in touch with my feminine side?
I would say so.
How?
You love to be clean.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've...
That's
it's
true.
like I've lived with variations of different types of boys.
Right.
And the majority of them just are disgusting. Just no... Like, I've always had separate bathrooms, thank God.
Yeah, that's good.
But yeah, there's just some... I've seen some sights, to say the least. Pain in the arse, mate.
I'd hate to live with a load of other men.
Yeah.
When
you say men, when you say men, it sounds weird. Not
boys.
weird, but
if I said boys, they would sound weirder.
They're just boys. I don't live with. Well, I suppose I do live with full-grown men, but it doesn't feel like it because they're children in their brains.
Well, are any of them 25? Yeah.
There's a few that are 25 and above. Yeah.
No excuse then.
No excuse. Your frontal is it frontal cortex?
Frontal lobe.
Frontal lobe is fully developed, so shower more. Let's not go down that road again.
Yeah, we could spend a whole episode on that.
Yeah. So, speaking of men, lads.
There's a one in particular man that I'd like to talk about for a while.
Yeah, we're going to talk about him today. I'm going to put a lot of effort into the thumbnail, which I'm really proud of.
Yeah.
I really like the thumbnails. Do you?
Yes, I do.
Thank you, Queen.
You can see how much work I put into this.
Yeah, he just turns up. But when I'm away in August, I might pass over the editing duties to you. It's not hard.
Prepare for some episodes to be edited a lot.
Honestly, it's not hard. Like my housemate colour corrects, but he never really has to do anything because the lighting's all right.
Thank you.
Oh, he does the lights. So yeah, we're going to talk about a lad, a lovely boy, from what I've heard.
Unless it turns out that he isn't, in which case we never said that he was.
Yeah, we never said that he was, and all the films that he's been in are fucking dog shit.
Yeah. But
Ali Pali Pacino.
That's what they call him.
That's his nickname. That's what I call him every time I see him. And then we speak.
Which is often.
Yeah, we speak a lot. He rings me on his Shrek phone.
Mm-hmm. Isn't he just like a he's a guy, isn't he?
He's a revolutionist. Is that right? Is that a word?
Revolutionary character.
Yeah.
What do you mean? What do you mean by that?
I just think that he's done a lot for the acting world and cinema, and he's taken a lot of risks. A lot more than I originally thought, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah, I haven't seen every single Al Pacino film.
There's many.
There is so many. I've seen a lot of them though, so we're going to talk about them today. So we hope that you like Al Pacino. If you don't, this is going to be a bit boring for you, I suppose.
If you don't like Al Pacino, we don't like you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless
it turns out
that he's not a good guy.
Unless that happens, in which case we never said that.
Yeah. And Anyway, where should we start?
Well, let's go back 53 years.
53 years. All right, I've got the IMDb at the ready because people keep having a go at me for saying wrong things.
So
let me scroll down 53 years. Right.
Al Pacino.
Go for it.
He was in a bit of stuff. He wasn't really very famous. He was a theatre actor, particularly well known. And then they really wanted him. Francis Ford Coppola really wanted him for The Godfather, and the studio hated him. They were like, "He's not right. He's not Michael," because obviously The Godfather was a book. Not not very long before the film. I think within a year they made a film. They were like, "It's not happening. It's not Michael." And then did the audition, blew them away, got the part and everything, and that's how his sort of film career sort of kicked off.
So do you know how Francis Ford Coppola found him then?
I think they both like lived in New York. I think he must have seen him in a theatre. He would have seen him in a play or something like that. I think, but
so that was
his.
So that put him on the map, obviously.
Yeah. And then he was so busy in the 70s.
Oh Christ, yeah! I'm just looking at it now. There's, I might actually watch this tonight, but I really want to watch this a year before The Godfather.
Oh yeah.
The Panic in Needle Park, where he plays an addict.
Oh right.
And I'm always quite intrigued when, because I feel like a lot of actors at some point have to play an addict of some form.
Yeah.
And I always find it very interesting, so I'll watch that. But yeah, The Godfather put me on the map. Scarecrow after that, Serpico, Godfather Part 2, Dog Day Afternoon, Bobby Deerfield, Justice for All, Cruising, All for All, Scarface. Oh wait, no, we've gone into the 80s now. But yeah.
He's
busy man. But there's just so much. You go on.
We talked about it before when we talked about Dog Day Afternoon. I was like unusually progressive for the time.
Yeah, that's why I was saying not about. I said revolution is evidently not the right word, but I completely agree. Like
it's so progressive. I mean, and Justice for All.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a film that we've both watched recently
because we decided to watch it together last week.
We did, and it's another one that is in a similar sort of way that Dog Day Afternoon is. In terms of representation, anyway.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
There's quite harrowing stuff.
Oh God, yeah. It absolutely killed me. Like, I'm actually getting a little bit like emotional thinking about it. Like, I'm not going to start crying.
It's sad.
But that scene, obviously, spoilers for any Al Pacino film that we talk about. The scene in the car park that really got me. Yeah, was it a car park?
So towards the end, yeah.
Yeah, and he starts smashing up the car.
Yeah, so basically for context, in this film, there's a trans character who is exclusively treated as a man and is accused of a crime that they might have
involved in.
But is treated very well. The whole film really is about injustice, and it's a very on the nose, intentionally big criticism of the American judicial system.
100%.
And there's some there's a few parts where this character has to take off their wig.
Yeah.
And
mate,
it doesn't sound like it would be, just my description there doesn't sound like it would be really bad, but like seeing it
and like just seeing the discomfort, hang on, let me.
Really good actor.
Yeah,
who died.
I was just about to say,
a few years after the film came out, actually. Unfortunately,
that's a shame. They were really good.
But
I just want to get there.
Yeah, really upsetting. And very very good performance. But anyway, So Al Pacino is this person's lawyer, and he is Al's friend. Lawyer friend has lost his mind.
Doing him a favour, yeah.
And he's doing he He goes.
Robert Christian. Sorry, guys.
There we go.
Robert Christian. Yeah, incredible.
Yeah. So he can't. Al Pacino's character. What's the character's name?
Ralph.
I forget. Ralph. Yeah. He can't make it to
Ralph's
the
trial.
hearing.
Yeah.
So because his other lawyer friend has sort of lost his mind.
Yeah, and he needs to go to the hospital.
Taken
Which
away in a
again,
hospital.
that's very dark.
It's a pretty dark film.
Yeah, it's dark, but that
it's about like sort of funky and
Yeah,
like with the music and sort of silly at times.
But I think I've always said that is the best way to go about something, how to portray something that's dark, because the viewer doesn't realise what they're actually soaking in whilst because you can have a giggle and then you'll and then minutes later
you're like, wow,
you'll be like, shit, that's fucking well done. Because to talk about his friend who was, oh Christ, I should have learned everybody's name. Jay Porter, played by Jeffrey Tambor.
Yeah.
He finds out, because obviously lawyers, you do a job, and you have to defend someone whether they're guilty or not. And he managed to get someone who did commit a murder, and he knew that he'd committed a murder. He got them off.
Yeah.
And then he turns up at Arthur's house, and it turns out that this person that he's got off for murder has killed again, but this time has killed
two kids.
Yeah, a child. Yeah, two children.
Yeah,
which is
and the effect that has on him.
Yeah, which manifests in quite a comedic way
at first,
like him
and then again later on.
Yeah, him shaving his head and him throwing plates and him just overall just sort of losing his marbles.
Yeah,
was done quite comedically, but again, I think that is a way to sort of disarm the audience. Because I mean, I was thinking about it for hours afterwards. Like, there's a reason why it's such an iconic film.
Yeah,
and when you get, because you can't watch every single film on the sun like we were talking about before. Like, there's some basic films that I've never seen.
Yeah, because
they fly under your radar and you've heard about them your whole life. But it's like I've known of the end scene. You're out of order. This whole card is out of order.
Yeah,
like I've heard that, and I've heard people quote it, and I've seen cartoons take the piss out of it my whole life. But then to actually see that scene. Oh my God!
With all the context behind it.
With all the context behind it, all the pent up sort of.
Yeah.
It was so good.
But with this trans character, and so Arthur can't make it to the hearing because he has to go help with his other lawyer friend, and then so he has to get another lawyer friend to fill in for him. Gives him a letter which is a redone statement, and to give to the judge. Make sure the judge sees this, and then he turns up late to the hearing because he's at lunch, and then he forgets that he has to show the judge this new statement, and then the character. Ralph is forced to take the wig off, and then
very demeaning.
And then is sentenced 3 years, and then later on we find out in this car park scene, this character is just after half an hour of being in the cell has hung themselves.
Well, because of what would have happened, like she couldn't have gone to jail.
No,
like, that's not.
We already saw it at the beginning.
You see it at the start. But then, do you know the guy, his other lawyer friend, his other friend with the weirdest haircut I've ever seen in my life? Did you notice what the scene and the reason why he was late to the hearing? Did you get the context of that scene? Because I thought that was really, really clever.
I might have at the time, but I can't remember.
Yeah, so he's basically having dinner with another lawyer, or someone in the court system, and is doing them a favour, but charging them.
Yeah,
it's like $7,000, and he's like, "Can you not do mates rates?" And he's like, "This is mates rates and stuff." And that scene, it's like 30 seconds long, and you see dribs and drabs of this character. It's more just you see him when you get context of like who Arthur is and who he's around.
Because Arthur's an ethical lawyer.
Yeah. And in this 30 seconds of this scene, he is talking about money and stuff, and you just know that like that's the only. So it's not personal. He's only driven by facts and figures. So something like that to him is just like he's just not bothered about it. And so, that scene was harrowing.
Yeah.
Oh mate, it was absolutely brutal.
I mean, the message of the film, it's pretty bleak, really. It's like if you aren't a careerist and you want to work in in law or in government, you won't go. The system is designed in a way that will shut you down, and it's depressing, but it's
and it's
very
like it was
good.
like that was the 70s, and has it got much better? No,
I'd argue it's worse.
Yeah, probably.
But,
yeah, probably. Obviously, I'm not a lawyer. I'm not.
Neither am I.
In any capacity, am I smart enough for that?
Better Call Saul makes it look really fun, but I don't think I'd have.
Not got the quals for that. I did a BTEC.
So many questions that you'd have to ask yourself.
And I think it's morally conflicting all the time as well. And I think that was good. Like, just a fucking brilliant movie. Like the.
I wish I watched it in uni. I could have talked about it for ages.
Yeah, I want to watch. I want to buy the screenplay rather than read that and see how it translates from paper.
Yeah, I'm talking about it now. I'm like, I liked it when I watched it, but
you remember
thinking about it, more. Like, wow, this is a really
because then you have the whole.
That's a lot to say.
The guy who's accidentally in prison, like for a parking ticket, and it just goes absolutely crazy. And it's true, like this stuff happens. Like I was, like. I know the last episode I was talking about how I fall asleep listening to SpongeBob. Sometimes I fall asleep listening to like this YouTube channel called like Infographics Show, and it's like a compilation of just like, I don't know, like World War II facts and stuff. And then there was just this one prison compilation that I was listening to, and it was like this man was just in prison for like 30 years, and people knew that, like everyone knew that he was innocent, but because of the way that the system is set up, there wasn't enough, even though everyone knew he didn't do it, there was not enough evidence to prove that he didn't, so he just had to stay there. And it's fucking mental out. People can just get away with that. There's whole lives are just lost from an accident, from a mistake, or from like a missing piece of paper, or a lazy ass lawyer. And how it's always, if you're privileged, if you've got money, then you're gonna be fine, like that. And the judge, that whole storyline of him passing the lie detector test and having all these people around, like just a sleazeball, but because he had so much money, he's like, he knew he was going to be fine. And like I liked how Arthur's girlfriend in it, they had very different beliefs, and you could see that was like the conflict between them. But then
she had more faith in the system. It was just quite interesting. She was also, because
she was part of like the tribunal hearing. Isn't it?
So they were interesting sort of pairing, because they're not like ideologically different, but in terms of the way they carry out what they want to achieve,
absolutely.
That's where they differed. She wants to do it more. He's more like just do what's right, and what makes sense. She wants to do it by the book, sort of thing. And
I think that I mean, it gets to a point where you go by the book, and it's just like it's just not going to work, especially in something like that. Like you have, well, I mean, again, I wouldn't know. I'm not a lawyer, but in situations like that, I can only imagine that you have to fight for what you believe in, or you just completely lose yourself. Like I'm sure that when his mate started as a lawyer, he wanted to help people, and then he saw the money, saw the dollar signs or whatever, and then just look. But that's what money does to you, I suppose. I wouldn't know. Not got it.
A lot of people. But I mean, you can. It's sad. It really is sad. I mean, it is the same with like politics. Like you see people. It's like, so like take like Jeremy Corbyn for example. It's been very simple what he stood for. He's just just wants to do what's right for everyone. He wants just basically, to put it really simply, wants everything to be pleasant. For the people who it isn't pleasant for, and because he's stuck to that for his entire political career and has never sort of been corrupted, or like how we've seen with Keir Starmer. If you watch videos from him 10 years ago, he's completely different man to who he is now. Because Jerry Corbyn's never allowed that to happen to him. He's just constantly shut down, and it's really sad. But and this film sort of,
and it's good to have. Well, it's not good at all, but it is a good thing that the films like this exist. To be able to not only like educate but hold people accountable.
It's a timeless film, really.
Yeah, absolutely. Because like you said, it's probably even worse now. And
if it's not worse, it's more like
the same or more complicated.
There's just more of it. And more, maybe at a higher scale. More money.
And it's not the first time that Al Pacino took a role and a story like that was so like poignant about injustice, because there's like Serpico. Have you seen Serpico? Yeah. That's an incredible film, and that's all. And he's a deep undercover, and he realised how corrupt everything is there as well. Similar sort of conversation. I remember Serpico being a lot darker though. But I just want to say, before we move on from Injustice for All, obviously that iconic scene at the end where he's like, "This, you're out of order, the whole court's out of order." The one thing that stuck in my head, because obviously that's the earworm, but for days I was just going around saying, "That man there should go right to fucking jail," because just how he said it was so good. His delivery. That's
why we love him. That's why we love him.
He is just so unbelievably creative by the way he lets words come out of his mouth.
Yeah. Well, like, if you like that about him, you should definitely watch Scent of a Woman.
Yeah.
Because there's so many sort of vocal things in that he does, because he plays a blind character.
Yeah.
So he has to, like, he's using his voice very well for and he does. There's lots of like sort of earwormy things that he does with his voice.
He's just fucking genius, man. And it's like, when you get a genius like that who is so like grounded in their art of what they do, and then you get like a director which is grounded in the art of what they do, and you put them together, you make a fucking good film, man. And that's why he's got such a good IMDb score.
An esteemed career. You got, I think everyone, like, he's got such a like a magnetizing sort of thing about him.
Yeah.
Like when you see like pictures of him, like,
small.
He's a little man.
He's fucking 5'6".
And that's what's kind of funny about The Godfather.
Yeah.
Because he's played such a cold, like, stern character.
I like the progression of seeing that happen to him.
Have you seen all the Godfather films?
I've seen 1 and 2.
Yeah.
And I've seen a bit of 3.
Okay.
Up to when he's like, when they try and get out and they pull me right back in.
Yeah.
Back in. Again, he's
I like.
It's just got so many iconic lines in it. Say hello to my little friend and all that. Like,
Scarface.
He's just. It's like he takes words off pieces of paper and turns it into his own version of a song. Like, he's just incredibly talented.
If I was an actor, he would be my inspiration.
Yeah, well,
in acting.
It's like I'm sure there's hundreds of people, thousands of actors that have been inspired by him.
Definitely.
He's like, he's just. Don't have anything else to say other than what a boy.
Yeah.
What a lad.
And I think he had a baby a couple of years ago.
Jesus Christ. That's mental. As I was saying in the last episode.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
That would have been a good segue last week.
It would have been.
But yeah, no, he's what a man. But I think so. It's Dog Day Afternoon. This film Serpico. We've said about it before when we talked about Dog Day Afternoon and other things. The 70s, at least in terms of like films, it seemed like so much more progressive than maybe we give
weird.
Give credit
it's like. How did they get so far in one direction and then go back the other way?
I think because there wasn't like the internet. There wasn't like.
Yeah, I guess.
I don't want to say people were less ignorant, because they definitely weren't. But people were less, not brainwashed.
Yeah.
But more,
I sort of
less manipulated by constantly being
hounded by
told
that it's wrong and
pointing
woke and
being
anti-woke,
told which how to look at things, pointing blame at others when it's their fault.
When maybe in the 70s, I'm not saying
there was still like media in the sense. There was news,
and I'm not saying
newspapers.
that it wasn't an issue and it's a new issue, because it's not, is it?
No,
it is. Issues of sexuality and race and gender and stuff has been prevalent. Yeah, prevalent hundreds of years. It's always been a problem, but for some reason, in like this era, it's like they could see it as just part of a story, as opposed to like, this is fucking propaganda. They're trying to brainwash us.
Yeah,
it's just like, just get a grip, watch the film.
And these people that watch these films, like back then, now they they'll say that everything's woke now without even knowing what woke means.
Yeah, and it's like,
woke
well,
just
you
means
liked
aware
that, film,
that prejudice exists.
Yeah.
But they'll call everything woke and like, oh, what about this?
Yeah, what about that film?
What
about my favourite film of all time? You know, it's like, piss off. It's
just ignorance.
Yeah, and it's just really.
And it's people that are being manipulated by powerful people. So it's just like.
It's just a shame, innit? And you wish that you could fix it, but you can't.
It's very frustrating.
Oh God, yeah. And it's just so hard to get any point across, because I feel like, you know, like I have all of these thoughts and feelings and emotions about what I believe in.
Yeah.
But then you've got people, like, I'm just going to call them anti-woke or whatever.
Yeah.
Because I'm not. But they hate so much that they consume stuff that purposely pisses them off.
Yeah.
So it's like, if I see something that like someone really right wing has posted, like, do you know, like with like J.K. Rowling and the whole trans stuff that she's doing and celebrating, it's like I'm not commenting or going onto her Instagram and like posting shit comments under a thing, which I'm not saying like don't do. Fuck J.K. Rowling, go do that.
Yeah.
But it's like I'm not like, I know it's happening. I'm not going on there purposely seeing it to get pissed off about it. But I feel like that's what people like.
On the other side, people do. Yeah.
Like I don't know. We'll say something about like I don't know, just to stay relevant, like Billy Piper being the Doctor, and they'd be like, "Oh, it's a woman. It should never be a woman." Oh, so and they just purposely just want reasons to be angry, and it's just upsetting. It's just like, what went so wrong in your life?
I think
that you have to be in this constant pain.
It's ignorance and stupidity.
Yeah, it is stupidity, because it's like a herd mentality, isn't it?
Yeah, and like some people are in sort of desperate situations, whether financially or whatever. And they'll direct their blame at people in the same class as them, even, you know, like class warfare, I guess. Whenever to everyone else, to everyone else like us, it's just so obvious, like what the actual problems are.
Problem is,
but anyway, Al Pacino. Let's talk about. Let's go back to Al Pacino.
Yeah.
Let's lighten the mood.
Let's
go.
Let's get back on. Before I don't know, like someone like Andrew Tate calls us out or something.
Until he rams his Bugatti. He rams his Bugatti through that white wall that we want to decorate.
You seen Donnie Brasco?
I have seen Donnie Brasco.
Sick game. It's a sick game. Sick film.
Sick game.
It's just like everything that he does is brilliant.
Yeah. He's versatile.
Very versatile. Like
especially in the 70s.
Yeah.
I think everyone brands him as like, oh, he only does. Same with Robert De Niro. Everyone brands him as like, oh, he only ever does gangster films.
Oh, he doesn't.
That's very much not true. I think most of his films. Same with Martin Scorsese. People, he only makes gangster films. And
no, he doesn't.
It's not even half of the filmography. Huh?
After Hours. I was going to say something and it's gone. Damn it! I hate it when that happens.
What's your favourite Al Pacino film?
Oh, that's difficult. Probably.
It's very difficult.
Dog Day Afternoon's up there.
Yeah.
Just because, again, of like just the progressiveness of it.
Yeah.
And you know, it's nice. Let me have a flick through.
I do. The Godfather really.
Yeah, I think that I would say The Godfather.
It's hard for me to not love it because I love that whole sort of genre, and I love Sicily as a country, and I just love that. I love Italian things.
Yeah.
So it's so my taste. Even though it's a very basic choice, I guess.
Well,
but
I mean, I wouldn't say it's basic. It's like one of the greatest films.
That's the thing. That's my argument every time.
I think that there's things that maybe are slightly dated. I mean, I know that they included like the domestic violence and stuff like that, and the treatment of of women and But then again, it's like that actually happens. So to do
exactly.
an accurate
you don't want to do an
representation,
injustice.
Yeah. But then so it's Godfather great, but it's definitely not my favourite.
Yeah. And people like part 2 more than the first. I prefer the first. People don't like part 3. I love all of them. I
didn't get all the way through the third one.
It's definitely the worst, but I think
part.
To be the worst Godfather is better than being like, you know.
Yeah,
It's still, you know, the worst best thing.
Yeah, I think my favourite is probably either And Justice for All, Dog Day Afternoon, or Scarface.
Scarface is good.
Scarface is fucking brilliant.
It's
just
so
unhinged.
that aesthetic is done. You know, that Miami sort of side.
Yeah,
that aesthetic is so like.
It's just so funny.
So 80s.
Oh God, yeah.
Even it's set in the 80s as well. Yeah. Yeah, that's.
Heat, obviously.
That film does not, when you watch it, and it's the same with Seven, actually. I think it came out the same year. Obviously, that's not an Pacino film. But those two films, I think they're both from 1995, but they look so, just aesthetically, they look so ahead of their time.
Yeah. Well, I think Heat is like a reference for every film ever after Heat.
Yeah.
Like the way that they everyone is influenced by it, the way they shot it, especially that dining room, that restaurant scene.
Yeah.
When there's no wide shot because it's so all tension.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's really good. I'm due a rewatch of that, to be honest. Michael Mann done some good films.
Yeah, definitely. But what about Robert De Niro then? Because they're often compared.
Yeah. And I get why, similar age, similar sort of films.
Yeah, same generation. The new Hollywood actors.
Yeah. I mean, in my mind, there's no question that Al Pacino is the better of the two, or has the better films of the two.
I'd agree. I'd say the acting level is like, the talent is on par. But I think
the way that it manifests is different.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah.
And I think I like a lot of Robert De Niro's older characters.
Yes.
And then Al Pacino's younger characters.
Yeah.
Because, like, I love Silver Linings Playbook. Incredible film.
Mm-hmm.
He plays Bradley Cooper's dad in it.
Right.
He's like some superstitious... and he bets on the bookies. And it's a really, really good film. You should watch it. And that's great. I was going to say Grandpa, but no, I'm messing. But I've definitely seen a lot more of Robert De Niro in his older years. I mean, there's some, for some reason. I mean, I've seen Al Pacino.
Again, they both sort of thrived in the 70s.
Yeah. I mean, what year was Casino? Was it the 90s?
95. That was 95 as well.
Christ, that was a good year then. 95.
Yeah. Actually, I did want to say something else about something. This is only interesting for me probably, but related to And Justice for All. So it's the guy who plays his granddad in And Justice for All. So he plays Hyman Roth in The Godfather Part 2, and he was also the guy who was like his first client who was in the car crash at the beginning. That's Dominic Chiesi. So he was in The Godfather Part 2, and he also played his dad in Dog Day Afternoon.
Oh yeah,
and he's best known for playing Junior Soprano in The Sopranos.
Oh yeah.
But just a little fact.
Yeah,
that
thank you for that.
It's them again.
Yeah. I love people with IMDb brains.
Mm-hmm.
I can't get through a film without looking up and seeing and knowing what I've seen someone else in, and it pisses everyone off.
I think that's a problem that a lot of us have.
It's like watching films with subtitles on, because it's like at first you hate it, but then you converted.
I don't like it.
You don't like subtitles
unless it's like a foreign language, unless it's not English.
Yeah, but you don't want to miss anything though. Like that's why I put like subtitles on, because there could be a joke and you might miss it, and you want to see it written down. But
I can see why. I mean, if it keeps your attention, I think.
I mean, sometimes I notice that I'm looking too much at.
That's what. That's what I do when I.
But then it's like you get used to it. But yeah, I think for me, Al Pacino.
In terms of film, if you put their filmographies next to each other, I mean, there's obviously a few crossovers.
It's pretty on par.
It is, but I think their later careers. I mean, both of their later careers sort of aren't as good as their prime, because it was their prime. But I think Robert De Niro's got a lot more sort of. I don't want to call it slop, but it's a lot more like ugh.
What like B movies?
Yeah, just because to pay off divorces or whatever. I know he's got quite a complicated personal life, but I think Al Pacino does as well, but maybe not quite the same level.
They're allowed because they're bloody good actors.
Yeah, we'll let them off.
Like for having multiple divorces, not if they're like awful people.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless they had the divorces because they're awful people.
I was okay. Let's move on. It's like Leonardo DiCaprio doesn't date anyone over 25, and it's like
Didn't that change?
I don't know. No one seems to bat an eyelid, except for like Twitter.
Yeah.
Like, and it's like a joke, and he gets roasted about it. But
I mean, technically,
well, yeah,
there's nothing wrong with it. But it is a bit weird, isn't it? Yeah.
Get a grip.
But would you think? I mean, so he's 50 now. So that's like half his age.
Yeah. But it's like these people. Oh my! No, I did see something that these people that he's like dating now weren't alive when Titanic was.
Yeah, and if that was if we dated someone with the same age gap, we'd be people that are minus 2 years old, which I think is wrong.
Ooh. Yeah. When you put it like that, then it's hard to disagree with you.
Yeah.
Because technically. Well, actually, if you're dating a minus 2-year-old, you're actually dating the mum, aren't you?
Or the dad?
Oh, yes.
I don't know.
Oh, yes, I guess.
Ew.
Maybe both of them. Polyamorous. I don't know.
This is really gross.
This is gross.
Sorry, Al Pacino.
Yeah, sorry, Al Pacino. It was a bit of not an educational episode, but it was one of the... we didn't speak about films last week at all. I can't even remember what we were talking about.
I don't know. It has been a week.
Yeah, it has been such a long 7 days and nights. Fucking weird, man.
Damn. Yeah. So Dirty Grandpa.
Yeah.
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 I watched it like.
I watched it when it came out.
Long,
it was like 2014,
probably around the time it came out.
As like a 12-year-old.
Whenever it appeared on Netflix when I was 10 years younger. It's not. I was like, oh, he's swearing. I think I was on that. It was like whatever.
So, is it Al Pacino for you as well then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think just because
it makes sense to compare the two because of like their era, same generation and that. But it is two vastly different actors with two very different approaches.
And it depends what kind of performances. If you want like the cool guy, that's Robert De Niro. He plays like the cool characters.
You talking to me?
Exactly,
Yeah.
and like Goodfellas, he plays a very cool guy in that.
He does play a very cool, very paranoid cool guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he plays Vito, like young Vito Corleone in Godfather Part 2. That was
he's very cool when he just
very cool
when he climbs the rooftop just to whack that fella.
So iconic. So the amount of times that's been parodied.
Yeah,
like Little Italy Street.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
so
just
cool.
Do you ever like think it's just completely mental the impact that like film, television, and music just sort of has like
some general culture.
Yeah, just like the art and how it's not reused but like rejuvenated and how it inspires and you can go through different eras and generations and notice how it inspired the next subgenre or the next generation of filmmakers and stuff and just
people build entire careers just based off entirely on inspiration, like Quentin Tarantino. Every single one of his films and every single shot of every single one of the films is based on something else. Yeah, it's based on films that have come before.
Yeah,
not that original, but anyway. No, I like his films. But I don't like him. But,
yeah, he's a bit. He seems a bit weird. Like, wasn't there was one woman? I want to say Fiona Apple. Don't hold it again. I think I don't know, but some woman said that she did cocaine with Quentin Tarantino and someone else and spent like the night partying with them, and then decided to like get sober the next day, like go to like
oh god,
and they just never do it again. And it's like I can see that. I can see him absolutely chatting your ear off. Like it makes me laugh when I see those videos of him saying that he looks like George Clooney. It's so funny. Like I want to be on that level of delusion, man.
47 minutes already.
Yeah,
it feels like we've only just started.
Well, we can keep going, but I'm hungry.
So am I.
Yeah, got shit to do. People to see. I don't.
Me neither.
I've got to go clean my house. Actually,
I'm really warm.
Really warm.
Mm.
I'm a decent temperature.
How are you in a jacket like that?
I'm wearing a vest and I don't want to get my arms out on camera.
All right.
Not yet, anyway. I'm going to get hench, don't worry.
One of these days.
Little glow up soon.
God, this is a quick episode. It's fine by.
Yeah, it's flown by. Well, that's what happens when you talk about something you're passionate about. And I'm really passionate about Al Pacino's filmography.
And so am I.
Yep. And Robert De Niro's. Not so much Quentin Tarantino's.
I like The Irishman, by the way.
Irishman.
Yeah.
I really liked that. Yeah. Fucking long, but I really liked that.
Yeah, 3.5 hours.
Yeah. I think I
was completely lost the first time I watched it, and then I revisited it a few years later, and I was like, oh, this is a good film.
Yeah. What's to get lost about? It's narrated, isn't it?
I was stupid when I watched it for the first time.
Yeah, fair enough. No, I really like The Irishman.
Yeah, excellent. Really nice Criterion Collection Blu-ray.
When De Niro kills Pacino, it's a bit brutal, isn't it?
Does that mean that he's better? Because he kills him.
Yeah, maybe. Who knows?
And he also played his dad. Not in The Irishman. That was the Godfather thing.
Oh, yeah. References.
Hoi, 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 hoi.
So, we did completely forget a couple of episodes ago to recommend each other a film. But
how could we have done that?
I know. How could we have forgotten?
So stupid.
We were just having so much fun.
Yeah.
We had so much to talk about. I was a bit hot that week as well. Came in, I was shouting about Delicatessen. We were bitching about Doctor Who. Like, there was just a lot going on.
Yeah.
But next week, I want to talk a little bit about music. Because things are happening.
Yes.
Things are going on.
That would be good to talk about.
I've been writing a lot of music.
Maybe I should write some music.
You can try. But we should talk about it. So I'm going to recommend you a film, a music-based film. It's not musical. It's a music-based film.
Okay.
And it's called Sing Street.
Sing Street.
Yeah,
okay.
My dad showed it me, and it's great. It's got a fucking cracking soundtrack.
Cool.
Yeah. So yeah, you watch that. What have you got for me?
Well, you've recommended me a music-based film, so I will also recommend you a music-based film.
Okay.
And it's funny, my dad also showed me this one.
All right.
There's another one, way too young to watch it, because it's quite grim. Pink Floyd The Wall. It's a film.
All right.
Well, it was an album first, and then they made it into a film.
The Wall?
The Wall. Pink Floyd The Wall.
Right.
I can lend you the DVD.
Okay.
Next time I see you.
I don't have a DVD player at the moment.
Oh, yeah. Never mind then. You'll have to figure out some way, or some other way to watch it.
Don't worry.
But yes, it's a adaptation. It was still made by the band, not directed by the band, but written by Roger Waters, and it's an adaptation of the album.
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah. Let's talk about it next week.
We'll do a music episode. Yeah.
If you made it this far, give us a like.
Which I'm sure everyone who started it,
everyone who likes Al Pacino,
which is everyone.
Al, I see you, mate. Nice one.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching.
Thank you all. And if you don't like Al Pacino, for whatever reason, everyone's entitled to...
What? Everyone's entitled to their own opinion.
Yeah, but also what Abby said.
Yeah. No, I'm probably going to cut that because we'll get censored.
You can't censor me.
No.
But you might want to censor what I'm about to say.
I definitely can censor you, Vin. Definitely can. And I will.
Okay, I think what you should do is everything I'm saying right now.
Jesus!
Yeah.
Whoa.
I said it.
Vinny.
I know. I'll say it again. I went there.
Say it again then.
No.
He said it again, guys. Brutal.
It's again.
So thank you for watching. Again, give us a like and a comment if you made it this far. If you didn't make it this far, still like and comment.
Yeah.
If you're on TikTok, hi. This probably won't be on TikTok.
No.
But I am on TikTok, and so are you. And I've actually started putting our social media in the description.
Oh, yeah.
I have.
Oh.
So you can give us a follow if you fancy.
If you like.
Vinny has a private account, so he probably won't even accept you.
No, go away.
I don't.
I'm not private on Instagram, though.
I'm craving attention, so give us a follow.
Abby just wants to be famous.
I wanna be famous.
One Abby famous, yeah. One Abby Rose Kelly famous.
Killed it.
Yeah. That's the idea.
You're going to sing us out?
Have a lovely week, unless you don't like Al Pacino. You know what to do in that case.
You know what to do.
And goodbye.
Goodbye. Vinny!